Smile and speak will open a door forevermore. Come on, darling, I had to sing that one.
I didn't know I was supposed to be singing.
Yeah. Huh? Woman.
Our guest has awoken, my love.
Well, you gotta say, she looks a bit better.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Ah, good evening, dear king. I do not believe we have been properly introduced. I am Count Caldaur, former lord of the realm of Kalima. May I present my wife, Countess Lividia.
Pleasure to see you again.
In gratitude for you for alerting me to my wife's grave condition, I took the liberty of preparing you a dish. I thought you might be hungry after your harrowing adventure at my window. You will forgive us if we do not join you. Our tastes differ from yours, do they not, my darling? You shudder to think what different tastes actually means, but for some reason you note that you no longer hear any rats squeaking in the distance. You rat eaters, they really are Nosferatu. Haha, Vampire the Masquerade people will get that joke.
Indeed, so much to become accustomed to.
Yeah, what with all the youthful beauty and
Not dying.
not dying. You shall have all the time the world has to grow accustomed to such things. Well, perhaps 30 years. Should the father locate the item by then, there might not be enough world left for anyone afterwards.
Has this father to do with why you frequently went abroad, always with that cloak of yours?
Most certainly, but I think that my affiliation with him and his association has come to a close. My obligations to them took me away from my beloved too often. I do not wish to repeat that mistake.
You are forgiven, my love.
Their attention, which seemed to have wavered momentarily, now redirects back to you. Well. What to do with this one?
What were you going to do with him?
Kill him. I had quite clear instructions from Hagatha, who had apparently received them from the father himself.
But if you are not, as you say, affiliated with his association anymore.
They both share a knowing smile.
Tell us, King Graham, why are you here in Kalima?
You take a deep breath, trying to ignore the fact that you are the only one capable of doing so, and relate your story to the vision of the vision and the magic mirror in your quest to find the 3 gems of nature. The Count and Countess exchange cryptic smiles. Little graveyard humor there.
Romancing the Stones.
Oh, title of the game.
Finally.
Indeed. Obviously, that was a private joke, as you did not understand it. Oh, Graham. Needs. So you search for the one with which you would share the rest of your life. On that I cannot fault you, nor on your intentions here. Therefore I can forgive the trespassing. However, there is the matter of the dark gem you wish to remove from my castle. Oh, hey, there it is. Thought we took it. Guess not.
Yeah, not for long.
I place a deal before you. I am looking for a magnificent sapphire-encrusted tiara. It is a valuable family heirloom, and has been on this estate for centuries. This castle and its estate are old, though. It could be virtually anywhere, in any number of hiding places. I suspect there are many that even I am not aware of. I wish to present this tiara to my wife, as a gift to commemorate the eternity we shall spend together. If you can find it and bring it to me before sunrise, then I will give you the gem you seek and your freedom. Well, that sounds like a deal.
Where's Possum?
You nod, unable to believe that you have virtually been ushered away from death's door just so you can run an errand for a couple of vampires. You do not want to think about the consequences if you fail to meet the deadline.
You'll be dinner.
Probably. Alright. Vampire chit-chat. Okay. Well, first thing, let's take a look around. An entire smorgasbord adorns the tabletop. It sits upon an elegant blood-red tablecloth. There's a leg of ham on the table. Yoink! Excuse us. We like trafe. You take the ham from the dining table. You seem to have lost your appetite for eating at the moment. It's a big ham. Smoked ham is a wonderful, savory smell. It's hard to resist tasting it. Looks as though someone has taken a bite out of it. Probably us. Well, let's talk to people. Pardon my asking, but as the Countess of this realm, I presume you have lived in this castle before now?
Yes, that is so.
Then how did you come to live in that old house by the sea?
Sigh, after my husband died, I continued to live in the castle for a time. I watched my newborn son grow into a man, marry, and have a child of his own.
Awesome.
Yes. Shortly after her birth, however, my son and his wife both befell a tragic end at the hands of...
The Countess looks pained and appears unable to continue. I apologize if I have caused you to relive your grief. A vampire cannot truly feel grief, but perhaps my wife still recalls hers. I shall continue for her if you so wish.
I think you need to talk to him.
Story seems to have affected her in some way. You decide not to query the Countess further. Please, if I may know, how were your son and daughter-in-law lost to you? They were slain by the Brotherhood. The Brotherhood? You have met them at the church. Your mind reels. So that is the connection. Why would the Brotherhood kill your heirs? Oh. As you have just guessed, the Brotherhood wish an end to the reign of my family. Why else would they give you the means to penetrate my domain so that you could do their dirty work for them? The cross key. Exactly. Stolen from me through stealth and their own brand of magic. The Counts of Kalima have all descended from a single bloodline. They have always been partial to change as opposed to the stagnating status quo of the Brotherhood. Over the last few decades, the Brotherhood have tried to dispose of my family as best they could. That which I am now was brought about by them. They were the ones who set the monstrous infected vat upon me. Long have I cursed my ineptitude. I should have used magic to defend myself.
Do not be so hard on yourself, my dear. I remember that night well. That hideous creature gave you no chance.
Perhaps, but I should have awoken from my dark sleep sooner. Then I would have been able to protect our beloved son and his wife, and you would not have been forced to flee the castle to live out your days in that wretched old house under a false identity.
It was not so bad a time. Dear little Possum loved it. I hope she will be as happy in her new home as she has a new life now, with no reason to fear any more. Well, they made her a vampire too.
This Brotherhood, are they real monks? They were once, but something happened to them. Local folklore would have you believe that Weirwood Forest is a host to certain entities. Spirits of the wild, they are called. And what of them? I believe the monks encountered these spirits. What occurred, specifically, is beyond anyone's knowledge but their own, but it is evident that the men were given the ability to transform themselves. Unfortunately, their minds were apparently transformed also. They began to believe they were destined to rule, and since, having presented great danger to myself and my family. The danger you face is not a result of some decades-old feud? Not at all, dear king, though history will likely reflect such. But to answer your question, the members of the Brotherhood are no longer the goodly monks they once were. They do not represent their fellow brethren well. Interesting. Anything else? Countess has nothing more to say to you at the moment. So, I have until just before sunrise to retrieve this tiara? That is correct. And if I am unable to before that time? The Count's eyes glint red as he looks directly into your own. For your own sake, I shall hope that you are successful.
Threatening?
You bravely suppress a shudder. It seems clear that you are not off the hook yet.
No.
Oy. Anything else?
Better find that tiara.
There's nothing more to say at the moment. Yikes! What a bunch of creepers. Count is a tall, fearsome-looking man. His chalk-white skin, ruby-red lips, and protruding fangs give you chills. Countess is the slender lady who bears some resemblance to that elderly woman she once was. A black velvet gown graces her figure and makes her appear just genuinely regal. Like the Count, her skin is chalk white and her lips are blood red.
Yeah, because they're eating rats.
Yeah, or apparently they wear lipstick. Metro! Well, we probably can't even walk out the castle door now, can we? No, we can't. I don't think we can anyway. Let's say... Till dawn do us part. Oh, till dawn do us. Sounds like a... Oh, hey, we can exit. We can walk right out the front door, apparently. Well, that's nice.
I think those ghosts have something to do with the tiara.
Well, maybe. Let's go over to the library.
Okay.
Oh, hey, look at this. You see a young woman sitting on the dusty floor. She has a book in her lap entitled Little Red Riding Hood.
It's awesome. I wish I could read this
Story.
All the pretty words. Whatever do they say?
A young woman sits on the dusty floor. She's reading, or trying to read, a book entitled Little Red Riding Hood. Aside from the picture, she does not appear to be comprehending the content at all. Aw, she's illiterate.
That's sad. The pictures look interesting, but what is this book about? I wish I could read this story.
Fiction and fairy tale books are strewn all over the floor. Some children's storybooks have been stacked on top of one another. Same thing. Well, it's not like she doesn't have eternity to learn it, eh?
Yeah.
Alright, well, let's talk to her. The book tells the story of a young girl who met a wolf in the forest. The young woman's head snaps up. Her black eyes drill into your own. You gasp as you suddenly realize that you are looking at yet another vampire. Just how many has the Count made tonight?
Just his family.
The young woman's lips transform from hungry to, fortunately, pleasant recognition.
So, you are the guest of my grandfather's house. I was hoping I would meet you again.
Wow.
She got all old and busty.
Yeah, apparently she grew up rather fast.
Yeah, I'd say so.
So apparently it makes the old young and the young older.
I think it in general makes people generically attractive.
Yeah, and age appropriate, I guess.
Yeah.
The woman is startlingly beautiful, but in an eerie, unnatural way. You find yourself unable to speak for a moment. She does look somewhat familiar, but from where?
It's awesome.
Oh.
My handsome gentleman does not recognize me.
Should I?
You remember the basket, the soup?
With a start, you recognize the young woman. She's grown and matured considerably since you last saw her.
Sure you can have sex with her now.
Ew.
What?
She's
so
a
busty.
vampire! She'll eat us! The little girl possum has been transformed completely into this. She has traded her small ruby cloak for a dazzling satin robe of the same color. And boobs.
Lots of boobs. Are you unhappy with my appearance?
Stop seducing us. No, it's just that you have me at a disadvantage. I do not know your real name.
Anastasia.
A beautiful name.
Yes, 'twas one of the few things my parents left to me before they died. They are probably buried somewhere on this island, as a matter of fact. What do you seek here?
You explain your so far unsuccessful attempt to locate the tiara. The young woman looks thoughtful for a moment, then suddenly snaps her fingers. A discarded pile of books shift aside from the floor, and a single black book is revealed underneath. She appraises the black book with indignant incomprehension, then holds it out towards you. You take the book from Anastasia's hand.
I do not suppose that it has anything to do with it, but it must be about something important.
Well, let's take a look at this book.
We should teach her to read.
This black book is entitled Sleepy Hollow. It feels lighter than its size would suggest. You open the book and are surprised to discover not pages, but a hollowed-out section in which sits a silver key. The key's handle resembles the shape of a sleeping child. There also appears to be something written on the back cover of the book. What is written on the back cover? In the hollow, you can now see that the inside back cover has been written on. Some words have been scrawled into the paper. They are faded, but still mostly legible. If treasure you seek dear to my heart, tales of fiction is where you must start. Find first the beauty with stepsisters two, then visit the huts that the big bad wolf blew. The girl with no flock will usher your way to the little old man who spins gold out of hay. Those two star-crossed lovers shall be your last guide. They'll lead you to riches that pirates did hide. What you earnestly seek shall now truly be yours. They'll get it part wrong, and you'll be greeted by maws.
That sounds horrible.
And it repeats it there.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, let's take a look at the key. It's a shiny silver key. Okay, well, let's talk to her. This book contains instructions, but instructions pertaining to what, I wonder?
Read it to me.
You do so.
Why, it's the bookcase, silly. It tells you about how you'd find a book from there. You have to simply follow the directions. I'm sure you will figure it out.
What is maws?
That doesn't sound pleasant.
I don't see anything.
He will not bother me, seeing as how I'm not all that